D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D is Diddy. Hold up, it's Diddy. That's just crazy. The D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D is Diddy. Hold up, it's Diddy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Diddy Files podcast, where we discuss the booty bandit himself, Puff Daddy.
On this podcast, we only discuss the most important questions. Did he do it?
Well, Dill, first episode, this is pretty big stuff.
Yes.
Just an overview. I think we should really dive into...
Who is Diddy?
Who is Diddy? So, Sean Combs, also known by stage names like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and Diddy, is a major figure in the hip-hop and entertainment industry. Over decades, he built an influential empire, starting record labels like Bad Boy Records, fashion lines like Sean John, and he also dove into many different media ventures and business partnerships. His public persona was often glamorous, high-powered, and larger than life, but recently, critics and rumors have long followed him, suggesting a darker side to his dealings. Because of his stature and wealth, many allegations over the years were often met with skepticism or shadowed by power dynamics. He was so powerful that, a lot of people didn't want to speak up for a long time, you know what I mean?
Really didn't.
And now that everything's coming to light, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we got to dive into right here.
Yeah.
First thing I want to ask you, though, is how'd you first find out about Diddy?
Ian, I've always, heard some of his old songs.
Yeah, same.
Seen him, on social media. When this caught my eye, I was very surprised.
Same. Sorry about that, folks.
I didn't see him. You
didn't imagine him
yeah.
being such a freak. Yeah,
I didn't, man.
I feel you.
It hurts my heart. So I was always a fan of him.
So just to kind of start it out, I think we're going to dive into, some of the allegations and the charges that were brought up against him. On the criminal indictment side, he was indicted on racketeering charges, sex trafficking charges, and transportation for prostitution.
Yeah.
He was accused by, federal prosecutors from the state of New York, and their key claims were that Combs ran or participated in criminal enterprise involved in coercion, abuse, drugging, organizing freak-off sex parties, transporting individuals across state lines for illicit sexual activity. That's some pretty intense stuff.
I mean, yeah.
But the outcome of those trials were that Diddy was indicted in September 2024. The trial began May 2025, and then on July 2nd, 2025, the jury delivered the verdicts. He was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, but convicted on 2 counts of transportation for purposes of prostitution.
Wow.
Under the Mann Act.
Yes.
These involved both female ex-partners and male escorts. And then recently, in the last 2 weeks, I think, he was sentenced to 4 years plus 2 months in prison and fined $500,000.
So it took about a year.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty long process, it looks like. I remember these first coming up around. Everyone was always very skeptical of Diddy. I always remember that.
They really were.
But, then finally, as we'll dive in about a few seconds, actually, we'll see what really brought it to come out. Next, we're going to discuss some of the civil lawsuits, some sexual assault, rape, drugging, and coercion allegations. Multiple people came up, women and men both. These were allegations that Diddy actually sexually assaulted, raped, or drugged people. He facilitated exploitative sexual parties, abused power to coerce victims, and some alleged behaviors that spanned years and different venues, some hotels and some of his own properties. Many of these are pending, and his legal team denies all claims, calling them false or fabricated.
Makes sense.
Some suits target multiple victims, and at one point, an attorney claimed as many as 120 people were coming forward.
Wow.
Though that number it's contested.
Yes, for sure.
All right, Dill, would you like to go ahead and talk about how this kind of got brought up?
I mean, there was a big personal dispute with Cassie Ventura, a singer model, his former partner.
Yeah, his ex, right?
His ex, yeah. In a highly public lawsuit, She alleged rape, physical abuse, and emotional manipulation. Among other claims, her case helped push the allegations into the mainstream spotlight. That lawsuit was settled out of court in late 2023. However, part of it, including video evidence of a 2016 hotel altercation, resurfaced following.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, I'm sorry. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It contributed to renewed scrutiny.
Actually, folks,
Okay.
we actually have the video footage
We
of
do.
this surveillance camera incident.
That's why I lost track there. I'm like,
Yeah, we're gonna put it up right here. So viewer discretion is advised.
and we're back.
Yeah.
We get into other elite incidences and behavior. Employees, former staffers, and even male victims. Some suit claims described forced sex parties, use of sex toys, abuse involving male escorts, public humiliation, coerced acts, etc.
Mm.
They are mostly in civil proceedings, no final public verdicts, or most of these are as of now. Some complaints also aim to add pressure and public accountability.
That's some intense stuff, man.
It really is, man.
Who would have thunk? Who'd have thunk that Diddy? But, you know,
I told you I never would have.
Yeah. There's some key claims that were made, and one of the major findings were the idea of these freak off parties and the
Mhm.
sexual environment around Diddy. So one recurring theme in these federal cases and civil claims is the so-called freak off sessions, which were allegedly orchestrated group sex parties with both female participants and male escorts, you know, drug use and purported coercion. Prosecutors, no, wait, I had a little mix up there. Prosecutors argued these were part of a broader scheme of abuse and trafficking, and the defense contested that characterization pushed to portray many of the sexual encounters as consensual or lacking proof of coercion under federal law. So, what's your opinion on these freak offs? Like, what do you think? Do you think they're true? Like, do you think these actually happened?
I mean, it's hard because, like I said earlier, I never expected this out of Diddy, but I mean, all the evidence out there, it's hard to not say it's true.
Yeah,
but
no.
I don't know, man.
You know, as we'll dive in later in the episode, there's a few possible like celebrities that could be involved with this. Next, another key claim that we have is actually the fallout of the Cassie lawsuit and that video that we watched earlier.
Yeah.
In the lawsuit filed by Cassie Ventura into the public domain, it like kind of even though it was settled, it brought much of the narrative and like the evidence of all of this into the open. And you know, the security footage showing the altercation between Diddy and Cassie being later published, you know, significantly eroded the public support and credibility of Diddy, and it contributed to the sharp decline in, you know, his reputation. Like, it got pretty bad. The public nature of the evidence made it harder for Combs's team to fully compartmentalize or, you know, suppress these complaints. Made it difficult.
I mean, when this came out, I mean, week after week I don't know if stock's the word, but like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's like his reputation
down and down and down.
Just all went downhill.
All the opinions changed on him. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into now the legal environment and the shifts of statute of limitations and windows.
Statute of limitation.
I'm tripping. In New York, the Adult Survivors Act opened a look-back window for victims to file lawsuits, even if the alleged misconduct occurred many years ago. This spurred many more filings.
You know, like Diddy, he's been doing this. Like, these stories have been coming out for years.
Yeah.
So like it got pretty bad. Like, some pretty bad stuff ended up coming up. Then there was a lot of, high profile raids and all that federal investigation.
That
So
public pressure,
actually,
man.
yeah, in early to mid 2024, authorities raided multiple properties linked to Combs, his Los Angeles house, his Miami house, and different hotel rooms that he was actually renting out. And it kind of added to the gravitas of the claims and made it pretty intense. Just a lot of stuff was coming out. And this is where they actually found out some of the forensic evidence that we'll dive into in a little bit. So, as we recently discussed, everything went to trial. He was acquitted on the charges of sex trafficking and the racketeering charges, but he was brought up on the
Wow.
prostitution charges. So,
The verdict split.
$500,000, it's a hefty fine for
a big
anyone,
fine.
but I mean, we got to ask the question. Diddy's a millionaire, obviously.
Really is.
Is it a little, do you think it's a little under what he should be charged, what he should be fined?
I mean, yeah, I feel like you got to go off who the person is. It definitely could have been more, but I mean, I don't know if they give like different bread for how like who depending on who the person is, but yeah, I don't know.
One of the interesting things that came up after the verdict was that Judge Aaron Subramanian offered to recommend Combs to the Federal Bureau of Prisons Residential Drug Abuse Program. That could also reduce his sentence up to a year. And it's a possibility that his defense, is trying to leverage. Honestly, I think he should do it because, I mean, who wants to be in jail
For sure.
for that extra year?
No one.
I think he should
And he's
just
smart,
do it, dude.
for sure.
He's got to just do it. All right, actually, we're going to take a quick break today to talk about today's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Johnson's Baby Oil, the original,
Nice.
the innocent, and the kind that's actually for babies.
Yep. Not for your Miami. Yeah. Not for your Miami sex dungeon. Not for your fifth hotel suite.
Sorry about that, folks. Just let him carry on.
Yo, I'm sorry.
You want me to pick it up? You want me to pick up the
Yeah,
sponsor?
go ahead.
Yeah, not for your Miami sex dungeon. Not for your fifth hotel suite in the name under Frank Black, which we will dive into in a moment. Just good old-fashioned baby softness. Listen, if you watch the news lately, you'd think Johnson was sponsoring a very different kind of freak-off. We're here to say, wrong Johnson, wrong usage.
Right. Ours doesn't come with a federal rate or pink ketamine. Just aloe, vitamin E, and wholesome glisten.
Johnson's Baby Oil. Trusted for generations, not confiscated by the DEA.
Massage.
Massage responsibly, folks. And maybe leave the lingerie and the AR-15 parts at home. Johnson's. When you want things smooth, soft, and 100% legally admissible in court. Anyways, back to the podcast. Now I think it's time to dive into the forensic evidence of the case. During the raids and the physical seizures, agents actually seized a large number of items, including drugs that included MDMA, ketamine, cocaine, pills, and different powders. Lots and lots of lubrication was taken. Baby oil, sex toys, different pairs of platform heels. I don't know. Diddy.
It's good evidence, though.
I don't know if it was Diddy wearing the heels. I don't know if it was the people in the case.
Yeah.
And more lingerie was taken. Some firearm parts, like AR-15 style rifle parts. They all had defaced serial numbers. He didn't want to get tracked. There was also a loaded .45 caliber handgun. Some electronic devices were taken, like phones, hard drives, computers, and other stuff. There was cash, decorative lighting devices, and a lot more around the apartments. You want to dive into the surveillance footage that was taken?
Yeah. Prosecutors asserted that these physical items were consistent with and supportive of the allegations of freak-off parties, facilitate compliance, sexual environment, sexual performances, possibly non-consensual or coerced acts. They argue the layout, contents, and the pattern of these items show planning and infrastructure for the alleged trafficking, prostitution operations. For example, baby oil and lubricants appeared repeatedly in places where sex works or sexual performance was elite liked. Gun parts and weapons were used partially to argue coercion or threat of violence in controlling or intimidating victims. Electronic devices were used to retrieve evidence like videos and communications.
You know, there was a lot more taken up. They started using a lot of the video surveillances. You know, they obviously used the footage from Cassie. They used that in the case. There's actually some videos of these alleged freak-offs that were brought into court. These have not been shown to the public yet, but who knows? And they also seized different accounts that Diddy was using under the pseudonym Frank Black. I don't know why Frank Black, but who knows, man? Just like if he's doing freaky stuff like this, who cares about what the name is?
Random name generator.
Yeah, just let him do his thing.
Random name generator, yeah.
Some different items were tested chemically, like the powders and the substances found in the hotel rooms tested positive for ketamine, MDMA, and mixtures thereof. Traces of drugs on objects like straws, bills, and other things were all found. Diddy, guessing he was doing some coke, I mean...
It's looking like that.
It's not looking great. And the forensic testimony came from Dr. Dawn Hughes, who was a forensic psychologist, and she testified about trauma, coercive control, abuse dynamics, and why people would stay, and how memory works and everything. This helped the jury understand human behavior in abuse or coercion context. It doesn't prove specific acts directly, but it frames the narrative so that other evidence is more believable. Witness, witness reluctance, gaps in memory, patterns of behavior, and other things. So, there's there was also some statements from financial statements from the hotels and the travel records, payments for rooms and everything. This is all evidence that was brought to the forefront just to further the case and kind of make him look more like they wanted to get him caught.
Was there any communications involved?
Yeah, there was a little bit of communications. They found some text messages on his phone. Obviously, the alias use it's pretty suspect. If you're using an alias as a celebrity like that, not just your name, which is pretty well known,
doesn't look good.
Whatever you're doing, it obviously can't be that good.
Yeah.
So actually, in conclusion, me and Dill are going to bring up some of our own favorite theories on the whole Diddy case. Me personally, I'm very suspect on Diddy's relationship with Philly rapper Meek Mill.
That's a good one.
A lot of stuff has come out about just weird weird acts. There has been speculation of a possible homosexual relationship between the two, and I'm not saying I'm not saying anything's wrong with that if that's the case.
For sure.
But Meek Mill kind of has
the way it went down.
Yeah, Meek Mill has a persona, and if what we're about to see in this video is how it was usually, it's pretty bad. Maybe something's actually going on. Roll the footage.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Ian, one of my favorite Diddy moments is when he came on the Ellen show.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Just
those
sick kids made a video for him, and he, like I said earlier, I was really a fan of this. After this, I never expected him to do anything.
You would have thought he was unscathed.
I mean, the kids honored him.
When Ellen surprised the kids with him.
I mean, listen, he came out from backstage and the place erupted.
You wanna roll the footage?
It was incredible. Yeah, you guys can see. Let me stop talking. You can see it here.
All right, here, go ahead.
All this time, Diddy, come on out. He's.
And then also, I think me and Dill's consensus favorite Diddy moment. You know, we're just going to let the clip speak for itself. All right? Here you guys go.
When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the first episode of the Diddy Files podcast.
Tune in next week where we answer yet another important question. Sean, did he come?
Living your life after death.